Welcome to Pleasantview. A lot has happened in 25 years. Mortimer Goth made his fortune, the Pleasants put down roots, and a new generation of Sims was born. But the peaceful, happy existence is in jeopardy when some new arrivals to Pleasantview start stirring up trouble, creating rivalries and tensions for all the families in the neighborhood. Can anything be done to restore the peace to sleepy, idyllic Pleasantview? Come along with me while we acquaint ourselves with each and every household to discover the answer to that question. First up, Don Lothario, Pleasantview's resident Casanova. He lives right here in a messy middle-class condo on 150 Main Street with 54,668 simoleons to his name and a town full of women under his belt. Now, Don is quite well known around here, not just for his philandering ways, but also for his involvement in a harrowing disappearance that took place some years prior, that of Bella Goth, the beautiful young wife of Mortimer Goth, the wealthiest Sim in all of Pleasantview. But who is Don Lothario? Is his engagement to Cassandra Goth genuine? And what about the rumor that her mother Bella was last seen scaling the deck of his condo? You heard right. Don is currently engaged to the daughter of the very Sim that vanished years ago after being the last person in the neighborhood to lay eyes on her. Now, Don has firmly stated that Bella was abducted by aliens when she went to welcome him to the neighborhood on that fateful night, a claim he has never once wavered from. And with the sheer amount of abductions that have plagued Pleasantview in recent years, no one has really been able to dispute this claim. But I'm sure the question on many a mind is if Bella actually was abducted like he said, or if Don was in some way responsible for her sudden departure. And if he was, then why? Let's take a look. As soon as we enter the residence of Don Lothario, we can see him shaking and shimmying away to the music of his favorite radio station, no doubt pumping himself up for the very busy night ahead. You see, Don is currently involved with not just one, but 4 different Sims, a number that I'm sure will only increase over time. There's the town maid, Kaylin Langerak, twin sisters Nina and Dina Caliente, and last but not least, his betrothed, poor Cassandra Goth, who has no idea that Don has been cheating on her, and believes him to be an honest and loyal man. Don is not at all faithful, and has had an affair with both Kaylin and Nina behind Cassandra's back. So far, he's only been able to woohoo with one Sim, Kaylin Langerak, who he currently holds the highest relationship points with, in no small part due to that act of woohoo. But since he is engaged, a memory of which he's not fond of in the slightest, and uncomfortably soon to be married, he figures that he may as well sow as many wild oats as he can before he's wrangled into an unhappy life of wedlock. And who better to start with than Nina Caliente, the apple of Don's wandering eye. It's here that we are given our very first prompt to spur things along. Don's romantic life is really humming along. Maybe now's the time to put the moves on Nina Caliente, pick up the phone to invite her over. And that's exactly what we're going to have Don do. But first, let's get to know Don a little bit better before all the ladies in town do. So, who is Don Lothario? Well, Don is a romance sim, of course, and as a romance sim, his wants are usually going to revolve around all those little things that make Lothario a Lothario. His bio says it all. So many ladies, so little time. When Don isn't thinking about dating, he's sleeping. But there won't be much sleeping for Don with that lifetime aspiration of his to have 20 simultaneous lovers. Don was born a Leo, which is odd for a romance sim. But Don is one of a kind, so we're gonna let that slide. He's extremely sloppy, but also very active, quite outgoing, somewhat playful, and a little bit more grouchy than he is nice. One odd thing you'll see in his panel is that his body skill is almost at its maximum limit, which shouldn't be strange considering all those active points he has or how busy of a sim he is, because we all know what he's been up to. But when we exit out of his simology panel and go into his career and skills panel, we can see that he has no body skill points at all. But you'll soon see why. Don also has no cooking skill, which isn't surprising, but what he does have are 4 cleaning skill points, which is surprising because Don absolutely despises cleaning. Don is a level 4 intern in the medical career, so if he wants to keep advancing, he better suck it up and get to scrubbing. Even though Don has an influence level of suave string puller and an aspiration level of lusty lover, he somehow has no charisma skill points or even creativity skill points, but he does have 3 points in mechanical and 2 in logic. He also has no talent badges, but we already could have guessed that out of Don. Heading back over to his simology panel, we can see that although he has a wide variety of interests, from fashion and sports to weather and animals, he hasn't really found a hobby yet, other than romancing women that is, to call his own. Taking a look at his chemistry will reveal that he is turned on by athletic sims who wear a full face of makeup, as long as they don't have any extra cushion. Now we're going to dive into his memories, where all his juicy secrets lie. Going all the way back, we can see that his mother Adriana potty trained him and taught him how to walk, and that his father Niccolo taught him how to talk and how to study properly. We can also see that Don met Nina and Dina Caliente when he was still a teenager, before his parents became elders. It wasn't long after that he shared his very first kiss with Nina, but Don's happy and fulfilled life was about to take a turn for the worst. Right after Don became an adult, Adriana and Niccolo sadly passed away. Broken, he found comfort in the arms and lips of Dina Caliente, and after this was shocked, which took from him all those missing body skill points he had accumulated over the years. It was one bad thing after another for Don, and unfortunately for him, there was much more to come. It was around this time that he found himself falling in love with Nina, and soon after got a job as a nursing home attendant in his current career path. Although we don't see the memory for it here, Don actually moved to Pleasantview around this time, so he'd be closer to his workplace. Or was it that he knew Nina and Dina were taking up residence here? We don't know for sure, but what we do know is that this moment is where his life hit an all-time low, and where the mystery and unraveling of Pleasantview began. Don met Bella Goth shortly after settling in. Overcome by her incredible beauty, he attempted to make out with her, but was very firmly rejected. As if that wasn't bad enough for Don and his massive ego, Bella went missing that very night. She'd been ripped right from the roof of his condo, and unlike every other sim that met the same fate, was never brought back to the neighborhood. Don still thinks of Bella, of what happened to her and how harshly she turned him down. It really did some damage to Don, so it was almost a saving grace for him when Kaylin Langrat came into town. Don moves swiftly on Kaylin, no doubt to slap some putty over those salty wounds that Bella had caused, kissing her, making out with her, and even having his very first woohoo with her. His confidence restored, Don began to advance in his career. Around this time, he met Cassandra, and all his memories of Bella came flooding back. But to Don's delight, Cassandra was much more accepting than her mother, and he soon got out of her that kiss Bella denied him of all those years ago. I'm sure this caused his already sizable self-esteem to inflate even more than it already was, because right after that, even though he was initially rejected for a public woohoo with Kaylin, she soon succumbed to his charms and gave him that dressing room rendezvous he'd always dreamed of. But it wasn't enough for Don. He still wanted more. His plans, however, were soon thrown into a blender when, after multiple promotions and multiple loves, Don found himself in hot water with an ever-pressuring Cassandra. Poor Don hadn't taken into account that she may actually fall for him and want more from him than a simple woo-hoo. He also hadn't realized just how proper she was, refuting woohoo with him altogether until after they were wed. Maybe that's what prompted him into this mess. Or maybe it was Cassandra, introducing him to her brother Alexander, her father Mortimer. A very uncomfortable moment for Donna, I'm sure. And even her friend Darren, who didn't seem to take to him very well at all, that urged him into this dreaded conundrum. Whatever the circumstances, whether due to wealth, woohoo, a twisted yearning for Bella, or some kind of scheme concocted between the Calientes and himself, Don now finds himself engaged and thoroughly cold-footed. As the big day draws closer and closer, and his loyalty breaks more and more, he really wants to get into as many beds as he can, which is where we find ourselves today. Now that we have a pretty good idea of who Don is, let's call up Nina Caliente so that we can add her on to the notch in Don Lothario's ever-widening belts. It's always a pleasure to see you, Nina says. I'll be right over. Nina and Don, as we saw from his memories, go way back. They've known each other for quite a long time and have been great friends for a while, but there's always been something else between them, and Don really wants to explore that today. He doesn't just want to be a friend, and he's sure Nina feels the same way. After all, they are both romance sims and are very attracted to each other, with 2 bolts of chemistry shared between them. Even though they have made out with each other in the past, that's really all that's happened between them. Luckily for Don, that's finally going to change today. But not until we have him pick up one of the many trash piles in his house and watch him throw a fit. Oh, the horror, the absolute agony. I am truly a monster. Truly I am. I'm so sorry, Don. I'm sorry I made you pick up your own trash. After we subject poor Don to all of our torture, we get another prompt. This place is a mess. Use the phone to hire a maid. Nina has just arrived on the lot, but before we have Don greet her, we're gonna follow this suggestion here, so Don doesn't have to whine anymore over putting his own trash in the trash can 5 steps away from him. Do you need help keeping your home spick and span? Kaylin Langrak asks. I'll come clean your home every day. I charge a base fee of 10 simoleons plus 15 simoleons per hour. Is that okay? Why, yes, Kaylin. Yes, it is okay. Come over while I try to seduce another woman right under your nose while you clean my house for me. Don hangs up with one lover as another waits patiently outside. Or impatiently. Let's have Don finally go and greet Nina Caliente and prepare for some fireworks. As soon as Don is finished devouring Nina's face, we are going to take this prompt to heart and send him on up to the hot tub, his favorite woohoo location, to get that one of his fulfilled. And it looks like it's just in time too. Kaylin has just arrived on Don's lot. Now, even though Nina, Dina, and Kaylin know that Don is engaged to Cassandra Goth, none of them know about the other, so Don's gonna have to be really careful here. Him lose a love? No way. After Don is all finished stripping down into his little green Speedos and made himself all comfortable, he's gonna call up Nina Caliente for a little hot tub tumble. Oh, Kaylin, it's gonna have to be no, but just this once. Now that Nina is settled in beside Don, we're gonna have him give her a little bit of a cuddle. That's going well, so let's move on to a tender kiss. I think now's the time for Don to make his big move and get that tub love out of Nina Caliente. That look of complete satisfaction written all over Don's face said it all. That woohoo would be enough to take it out of just about any sim. But as we all know, Don is not just any ordinary sim. Don may have finally gotten what he wanted out of Nina, but he's not quite done digging notches into his bedpost just yet. Don is going to bid farewell to Nina and move on to his next big venture, her twin sister, Dina. Quite a stand-up guy is Don. If Don thought getting Nina to succumb to his advances was taking too long, it's taken even longer for Dina. Besides that one kiss he got out of her after the passing of his parents, absolutely nothing else has happened with her. But today is Don's lucky day, and we are going to get the ball rolling with yet another phone call to the Caliente household. It's always a pleasure to see you, Dina Parrots. I'll be right over. Oh, Dina, the pleasure will be all Don's. While we wait, let's have Don go and relieve himself before it all winds up in a puddle in front of the woman he's trying to impress. Right on time, Dina has arrived. And now Don is going to take his sweet time getting out there to greet her. Cool as a cucumber, Don is. Even so, he wastes no time with her, and luckily for him, Dina seems pretty receptive. Maybe we should have him whip up some drinks for them, get her to relax a little bit, and get the relationship up a bit more. That slouch, though. Now that they are all done, Don is going to test the waters and give Dina a tender kiss. Well, it happened. Don has fallen in love with yet another woman, and it seems like he wants to show her exactly how he feels. Let's get him into that bed and see if we can get another expression of pure bliss out of him. Dina, no, get over here. These Sims and their free will. Now that they're both in bed, Don's gonna try his luck with a makeout session. Well, Don won't be wasting any more time. Those 20 Sims ain't gonna woohoo themselves after all.
Yeah! Yeah.
Another hour, another sister. Don has successfully woohooed with both the Caliente sisters, and now it seems like he's actually satisfied. At least for now. We're gonna see Dina off now. Jesus, Don, calm down! He's literally shushing her out of his house. Well, Dina doesn't seem to mind too much, though. She is, after all, involved herself with Mortimer Goth, Cassandra's father of all people. She may not be a romance sim, but she wasn't about to resist getting some of that infamous Lothario lovin'. Oh, Don, you stallion, you stud you. Don has it going on. After Don finishes his after woohoo drink, we're gonna send him downstairs and replenish some of that hunger. With all his activities of the day, I'm sure he's absolutely famished. Ah, a hungry meal for a hungry man. As Don eats his very nutritional dish, he thinks back on all that's happened today. He almost can't believe it. He's managed to woohoo with 2 different Sims in the same night, and twin sisters no less. For the first time in a long time, Don is truly happy in Platinum Aspiration heaven. But now, as we see, it's time for Don to head upstairs and put this wonderful day of debauchery behind him. There will, after all, be plenty more where that came from. Sweet dreams, Don. I know you'll be having plenty of them. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this intro. Stay tuned for our next episode when we go to the Goth household, where Don is all set to be married. Will he actually go through with it? Or will his cold feet get the better of him and scurry him away? Check back in soon to find out.